Envision Eugene is a project that will help shape how and where our community will grow over the next 20 years. The goal of the project is to create a Eugene-specific urban growth boundary and create a new comprehensive plan that will serve as a roadmap for future development in our city. Throughout 2010, we've gathered community input on how Eugene should accommodate 34,000 people over the next 20 years. We held neighborhood listening sessions and workshops, conducted individual interviews, held youth art contests and class projects, and worked with a community resource group made up of people with a variety of perspectives about future growth. Based on all this input, we now have a draft proposal which is available on our website, www.envisioneugene.org. City Council and staff are still working on determining where the urban growth boundary will be located. The strategies in this proposal will set the direction for future growth and will identify approximately how much we may need to expand for different uses such as housing or industry. More detailed studies on possible expansion locations will be conducted and discussed later this year. Let us know what you think about the draft proposal by taking the feedback survey located on the website www.envisioneugene.org. The draft proposal is organized around 7 pillars or community goals that are important in our community and are critical to the success of Envision Eugene. All of the pillars are equally important. The intent is to use them together to support strategies that promote the overall well-being of our community as we grow. In this video, some of our community resource group members will provide a quick overview of the pillars and draft proposal.
The first pillar is about providing economic opportunities for all community members. We know that unemployment is high and wages are relatively low in our community. These strategies are intended to create jobs and raise incomes in our area. We need to make sure that we provide appropriate sites for businesses to grow and expand, and new businesses to locate here. And at the same time, we need to make better use of land inside our existing urban growth boundary through programs that make redevelopment and reuse easier.
Closely tied to the issue of economic opportunity is the issue of housing affordability. Today, about 45% of the households in our city spend over 30% of their incomes on housing. Doing what we can to make housing more affordable in the future is the second pillar of Envision Eugene. Strategies include planning for more multifamily housing, such as apartments and condominiums, as well as for townhouses and single-family homes that are smaller than we've seen in the past. The strategies also include continuation of assistance programs for new subsidized housing and for helping homeowners with down payments and repairs. We anticipate that approximately 14,900 new housing units will be built in Eugene by the year 2031. About 10,000 of those units, including almost all of the multifamily housing, can be accommodated inside our current urban growth boundary. Where to put the other 4,900 homes is still being studied.
The third pillar of Envision Eugene is to plan for climate change and energy. Our community recently adopted a climate energy action plan. The goals of that plan are being coordinated within the work of the Envision Eugene. 4 elements of the pillar on energy and climate change are to do 20-minute neighborhoods where people can meet their daily needs within a 20-minute walk or bike ride from where they live, to increase energy efficiency through our buildings and our fuel uses through more bike, pedestrian, and MX bus, and then to plan for the risk of the bad outcomes of climate change, including landslides, floods, and wildfires. And they also recommend making it easier for people to practice urban agriculture like community gardens.
The next pillar promotes compact urban development and efficient transportation options. In Oregon, we've had a long history of maintaining livability and limiting urban sprawl. And here locally, we've been able to grow efficiently and support alternative modes of transportation. The strategies that support this pillar are intended to provide all of our retail, commercial, and multifamily land needs within the current urban growth boundary by focused redevelopment along the key transportation corridors, downtown, and in core commercial areas. We'll do this through creation of vibrant, active, mixed-use neighborhood centers along these key transportation corridors And we'll be mindful of transition zones between these taller, more dense development areas and existing single-family neighborhoods surrounding them. We'll also keep an eye on adequate supply of open space, and parkland, and plazas to maintain livability in these new urban areas. And lastly, we really want these projects to happen in downtown and these key transportation corridors. So we'll work to reduce barriers to development, consider incentives where appropriate, and consider pilot programs so that we can demonstrate to each other that these can really be successful.
Our homes and our neighborhoods are important to us, and fortunately they are a critical component of the Envision Eugene process. The next pillar is about neighborhood livability. The strategies within that pillar include a recommendation to keep the current density levels that are in our code now so that densities would not be increased. Another recommendation includes design review to ensure that new development that occurs in our neighborhood takes neighborhood character into consideration. A third strategy involves neighborhood-specific area planning, recognizing that no two neighborhoods are exactly alike. It makes sense to develop area plans that take those unique characteristics into consideration.
The beauty of our surroundings is a big draw for people to move to Eugene, and the functional aspect of those same natural surroundings are a big reason why people choose to stay here. Eugene is surrounded by some of the best agricultural land in the state, and it's important that we do our best to make sure we preserve it for generations to come. Protecting our critical habitats, looking after our farmland, and making sure that we're meeting our needs for the future are an important part of Envision Eugene.
The final pillar is all about implementation. As we move the plan forward into action, it's going to be vital that we have a process in place to check on our assumptions, as well as a process to adjust course if needed. The implementation strategies include developing such a process, as well as determining what it is we want to check on in the future.
Envision Eugene is about working together to create the best possible future for our community. We don't have all the answers, and we need your help to make sure our plan keeps Eugene livable and increases our quality of life as we grow. I invite you to add your voice to the conversation through the opportunities listed on our website. Thanks for watching.